On December 7th, 2024, the calm night along Interstate 40 shattered when a white Corvette tore through Arkansas traffic like a runaway missile. Troopers from multiple units had already been warned this wasn't just a speeder, this was a suspect running hard from West Memphis police. What started as a reckless sprint would soon spiral into one of the most chaotic confrontations of the month. After officers finally got the driver under control, the situation revealed far more than a simple joyride. The man behind the wheel, identified as Christopher Najera of Memphis, turned out to be driving a stolen Corvette with cocaine and ammunition inside. He was charged with a long list of felonies, including fleeing theft by receiving and driving under the influence of drugs. April 16, 2024, sirens howled through North Little Rock as a bright red Dodge Ram stormed up US 67 like it owned the highway. The chase had already stretched past city limits, all because of a theft case gone sideways. When Trooper Ledden joined the pursuit, he found himself staring at a wall of moving metal cars, trucks, and one determined suspect refusing to quit. What came next would test every inch of his training and every bit of that truck's luck. Once the smoke cleared, the driver was pulled out dazed but still resisting. Inside and around the vehicle, officers found methamphetamine proof that this wasn't just about stolen property. The driver was taken to the hospital with head and back pain before facing a list of charges ranging from felony fleeing to possession of narcotics. It's another reminder that running from the law never ends in freedom, only in broken metal and lost time. On January 8, 2021, a Georgia state trooper noticed a minivan slipping quietly out of a convenience store lot without taillights or a tag. At first glance, it seemed like a routine traffic stop, a small issue on a quiet night. But the moment those blue lights flicked on, the driver made a decision that would flip his world upside down literally. What began in a parking lot soon turned into a desperate flight through Milledgeville's streets.
Pulling.
Clear coming up on this camera.
We're at Hancock, and we are making a left on the Hancock. Headed out 22 towards Sparta. It looks like it's one occupant, just a driver.
We're clear. There's one.
Milledgeville, pit, rollover, pit, rollover, pit, rollover. EMS en route, River Bridge.
In the end, passenger Rihanna Heron was pulled from the wreck and rushed to a hospital with injuries, while the driver, later identified as Forrest Trees, vanished into the woods. Investigators soon uncovered drugs and paraphernalia inside the hotel room tied to both suspects. Warrants were issued, and the truth about their night began to unfold piece by piece. For a man running from his past, this was one turn he would never recover from. On April 15, 2023, Florida Highway Patrol units were called to assist with a suspected drug trafficker blazing through Brevard County. The black Hyundai was clocked at 80 miles per hour in a 70 zone, but the driver's reaction to the trooper's lights told the real story. Instead of stopping, he hit the gas and tore through the interstate like his life depended on it. Troopers quickly realized they weren't chasing a speeder. They were chasing a man with something much bigger to hide.
Here, just slow them down. Just slow them down, bro. Stay where you're at. Slow them down. They can't go anywhere. All right, they're about to lose it. Get him, get him.
Our troopers discovered evidence consistent with trafficking and placed the driver under arrest. He faced potential charges including trafficking, controlled substances, felony fleeing, and eluding reckless driving and resisting arrest. What could have been a simple stop for speeding turned into a felony case with serious consequences. Sometimes the difference between freedom and a prison cell is just one bad decision at 80 miles per hour. July 21, 2022, alarms rang out across Citrus County, Florida. A man armed with a rifle had just robbed a bank, and the GPS tracker planted in his bag was pulsing a clear trail toward the coast. When troopers Eric Kiekstad and Frank Malillo joined the chase, they knew this wasn't going to be a normal traffic stop. The suspect, Jeremy Wade Greeno, had already shown he was willing to use deadly force, and he wasn't done running yet.
The whole single central hospital.
The pursuit ended near a crowded RV park, where the armed suspect's final stand forced troopers to act instantly to protect innocent lives. After the gunfire stopped, troopers rendered aid before medics rushed Greeno to the hospital. He was later booked into the Citrus County Jail and charged with armed robbery assault on a law enforcement officer, and fleeing and eluding, plus outstanding federal warrants. Our troopers' bravery that day earned them FHP's Troopers of the Month. On May 30th, 2021, a quiet morning along Georgia Highway 166 turned chaotic in seconds. A gray Saturn VUE clocked at 73 and a 55 seemed like a routine traffic stop for one trooper parked near Sales Barn Road. But the moment the driver pulled into a gas station, the calm shattered. Before the trooper could even reach the window, the SUV bolted through the parking lot, tires screeching, and a full-blown pursuit was on. Once the chase was over and the dust settled, the driver, identified as Daniel Jerome Breimer, was pulled from the wreck and taken into custody without further fight. His excuse, no valid license, and as it turned out, an active warrant for failure to appear out of Carrollton. A juvenile passenger was released to guardians, but Breimer's day ended in a jail cell instead of a gas pump stop. Just another reminder that trying to outrun flashing blue lights only makes a bad morning far worse. In the early hours of May 4th, 2025, Grand Rapids police were already reeling from chaos. A stolen car had just mowed down a pedestrian and vanished into the night. Moments later, Michigan State Police picked up the trail, a high-speed blur weaving through city streets like nothing had happened. What followed was a tense, precision-driven pursuit through the dark streets of Grand Rapids.
All right, I'm going to try and pit him up here. He's slowing down. Looks like he's at least got one tire down. We're through 9th. Speeds are 60. Still no traffic.
No traffic, speed 60 through 9th Street.
Hit.
After the vehicle was disabled and the suspect's ran, officers managed to catch 2 passengers while the driver escaped into the shadows. But with witness statements and inside confessions, his identity didn't stay hidden for long. The case remains open, but the charges are stacking: stolen vehicle, fleeing, hit and run, causing injury, and more. For the driver, every second of running only deepened the hole he dug that night. On a sunny day in Florida, what started as a simple call for a stolen vehicle quickly turned into a scene straight out of an action film. A gray Chevy Equinox was blazing down Interstate 4 at speeds near 100 miles per hour, using the inside shoulder like it was its own personal racetrack. When the Florida Highway Patrol trooper spotted the vehicle, the driver even made eye contact and then kept his foot down. That look said it all. He wasn't stopping for anyone. The reckless driver's attempt to outrun the law put everyone in danger, including a nearby county deputy who narrowly avoided being struck. Thanks to quick thinking and coordination, troopers brought the chase to a controlled end before tragedy struck. The stolen Chevy was recovered and the suspect was taken into custody to face a long list of charges. Another close call on Florida's highways where training, timing, and teamwork made all the difference. On July the 24th, 2022, what began as a simple welfare check turned into a tragedy on the highways of eastern Arkansas. Troopers were told the driver of a black Nissan Altima might be suicidal, but when they tried to pull him over, he chose the accelerator instead. Speeds climbed past 100 miles per hour as the car tore through small-town roads, weaving dangerously between lanes. Each passing mile carried more risk and more dread that this chase wasn't going to end cleanly.
Coming into Cross County.
We still trying to make it down. Where you getting wind?
Pit.
On stand by equally.
Start at 1016. Start at 1016.
The pursuit reached its heartbreaking conclusion when the Altima crashed, ejecting the driver from the vehicle. Troopers rushed in, administering CPR and calling for a helicopter, but the man's injuries were too severe. Despite every effort to save him, he did not survive. It was a grim reminder that when desperation meets high speed, no one truly walks away, not the suspect, not the troopers, and not the people left to replay the scene long after the sirens fade. If you thought this pursuit was wild, the next one will make you question how anyone walks away from it. Go watch the next video to see how fast one decision can turn a routine stop into chaos. Thanks for sticking around, and hit subscribe so you never miss the next pursuit.